As our journey through Angola continues, we arrive at Pedras Negras, a landscape unlike any other. Towering boulders rise dramatically from the lush Angolan greenery, creating a surreal and unique backdrop. Here we climb and explore these majestic rocks, eventually camping on a rock shelf surrounded by these monumental formations. It's an otherworldly experience where the rocks stretch endlessly, and every angle reveals a new breathtaking view. And here's how it went. Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to Angola. We are on day 23 of our expedition driving up the west coast of Africa. After a beautiful drive through all of these valleys with these incredible villages and these amazing rock formations, and we have come to Pedras Negras, which is this big rock formation. We have driven up into the middle of it, actually, up here. And from here, this is probably where we're going to be camping tonight, or somewhere in the park here. But this is one of the places that I've honestly been most looking forward to in Angola. You just have all of these big boulder black rock formations all clumped together in the middle here. And yeah, I think we're going to start by hiking from the center here up to one of the viewpoints that'll be up on top of one of the rocks here. But yeah, really looking forward to some fantastic views and vistas of the Angolan countryside here amongst these really unique big boulder rock formations. So yeah, let's get our stuff together and we'll start our hike. First little bit of the hike here has been up this nice little trail that kind of wrapped us around the edge of the rock through this tall grass. And then from here, it looks like we're going to start ascending the rock. There's a nice little staircase here to start us off as we ascend to the top of one of these black rocks. It's just been about a 15 or 20 minute hike, and we have made it up to the top of that rock boulder that's right above the settlement where we parked the truck down there. And again, that settlement is in the midst of this giant rock formation of all of these black boulders. And now we're up on top of one of the boulders here in the middle of that rock formation. And then up here we have the remains of what was a viewpoint from that old settlement where visitors used to be able to come up here. But yeah, from up here we have 360-degree views of all of these giant black rock boulders that surround us up here. And then through some of the gaps in the boulders, you can see the Angolan countryside that just sprawls forever. And this is just such a beautiful, epic landscape that, again, I barely knew anything about until I started researching some of the places to go here in Angola. And this is just one of the reasons I love this country and this trip so much, is all of the surprising landscapes that await us here in Western Africa. So yeah, let's enjoy some of these views of the black rocks, probably fly up the drone, and yeah, just enjoy this incredibly unique viewpoint overlooking Angola. I've just been hanging out at this little viewpoint up here on top of this cliff overlooking the settlement, flew up the drone, and I was amazed at how vast these rocky formations are. Like, they just go on for a ways that way, but it was just amazing to get that aerial perspective. And then from here, we actually saw a couple other people on one of those ridges, so I'm gonna hike along here and just see what other viewpoints I can get. That was a lot of bushwhacking, but I saw some people come out of the bush, and I think they were the ones that were up on top of that ridge. So they told me that I could go this way, and now I think I'm back on the rock, and I'm just gonna traverse this a little bit, and yeah, hopefully get some more viewpoints. I did not love that bushwhacking part, but as soon as you went through like 100 meters of bushwhacking, then you're just traversing these rocks, and it is so worth it, because look at this view. This is way more dramatic than just overlooking the village over there. You're just seeing all of these giant rock sentinels just off in the distance, and then you're just getting this really nice view even beyond into the countryside and the layers of mountains way out that way, and just an incredible view. This is exactly what I pictured when I came here, just hiking up on top of these mountains, getting these amazing views of these rock pillars. And then from up on this viewpoint, you even have a better view looking down on the little settlement, and you can see like all the little farmland and the old houses. It's such a beautiful hike up here. I just love being on top of these giant rock pillars. And they just go on and on that way where we can't even see them. Anyways, it's about 4 p.m. though, so I'm gonna bushwhack my way back and then get back down to the settlement and figure out whether we're camping here or whether we might move around and camp in another place, which will give us other vantage points of the Pedras Negras. So yeah, let's head back to camp. I have just made it back down to the little settlement in the middle of the Pedras Negras here, and I probably spent about 2.5 hours hiking and enjoying some of the views up in these rocks behind me here. And that was just so beautiful, such an epic landscape, something that you just like don't see very often. And again, coming to Angola, a place that's like rarely traveled by tourists, not very popular on Instagram, this is just a view that I really had not seen and didn't really know what to expect, but just absolutely stunning. And then the afternoon light casting those shadows across the valley was amazing. So anyways, gonna head back to the truck here and figure out what we're doing for camping tonight. We have just driven about 5 minutes down from that little settlement, and we have found this beautiful campsite. We just have this vast open rocky area here, and we're setting up our camp here. But just over here, it looks like there's a little bit more to explore. There's a couple rock features and this like rock that's like perched up on a cliff, and then you have this beautiful vista looking out over the Angolan countryside. So yeah, let's set up camp and then I'll go explore that little area over there. I've just hiked like 50 feet from our campsite, and we just are on the edge of this cliff, and we have an amazing view overlooking the valley there. The sun is kind of setting right between those two rocks, and then right here, visible from our campsite, is this balanced rock that's just hanging on the edge of that cliff, and we are just on the edge of the Pedras Negras. So yeah, just a beautiful camp spot, and since the sun is setting over there, that means we're gonna have sunrise over there. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna fly up the drone, get some of the last light on the Pedras Negras here, and then really looking forward to sleeping here and waking up tomorrow morning for sunrise, which will be over this valley somewhere over there. So yeah, that's it for tonight, but just such an epic campsite, such a cool place to hang out. And again, I'm excited that we get to wake up here in Pedras Negras and get some morning light as well in this epic campsite. So that's one of the benefits here of just living off the truck. We can camp wherever we want when we find a beautiful spot like this. So yeah, let's fly the drone, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Peace.